we're back.
We are. For better or for worse,
The second
we are
half hour.
here.
And for all three of you that stayed behind and hung in there, I appreciate it.
You give us way too much
Too much credit?
don't you?
Too
Yeah,
much
you
credit.
do. If you don't have three to begin with, you
Yeah.
can't possibly have three stay behind to keep listening.
Yeah. Well, we just want to remind you we are in the back room of the $2 and Change pub and studio in the Greater Lansing area. In what country?
Nepal.
Nepal. We did a little transporting there.
That's why the break was so long.
Wow.
Well, they were there. There was another war breaking out. I don't know if you remember that huge war in Grenada. It lasted like an hour.
The one that we had?
Well, we didn't have it, but computers, I tell you what. No, I don't
They
think
are tricky.
we did have it. I mean, I don't know. We were probably involved in that a little bit, but I wasn't there.
No, I don't even know if you were born yet.
No, I probably was not.
Anyways, what about Grenada? Grenada.
No, that was it. There was a war breaking out, so we left and went to Nepal.
Oh.
That was my whole point.
I just got that now, but
That's why we're in Nepal. What
Wow.
bar is this again?
I don't know. What?
What bar are we in? I don't remember.
We are on the $2 and Chains.
Okay.
Anyway.
So, what do you want to talk about?
Well, you want to say today's show is brought to you by...
No, I already said that. Yeah, brought to you by Audible.com. Head over to audibletrial.com/@odds for an exclusive exclusive offer for At Odds listeners. You can get a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial that you can cancel anytime.
How many days?
30-day trial.
Is it free?
It's free.
Well, how much will it cost me?
$0.
How many cents?
0 cents.
All right.
And you will get a free audiobook download for your iPod, iPhone, Android device, MP3 player. And if you like the service, you can stick with it. If you don't like the service, you can go ahead and cancel.
Do you think they have Moby Dick?
I guarantee they have Moby Dick.
All right.
They do.
Worst-
Abridged
worst-
and unabridged version.
Worst book ever written.
Really?
Wow.
I did it for an accelerated reader thing, and I failed the test.
Oh, my God, it's horrible.
Yeah. But what are you going to do?
You know, it really got bad reviews when it came out and stuff. And now they're saying, it's this great American novel and
Yeah,
stuff.
well,
And,
that's
my
how it
God.
works. History
horrible.
does funny things to stuff.
Want to remind you again, we are live. You can call in at 248-455-ODDS. That's 248-455-6337. Check us out on Facebook. And go to capeconservative.com to see today's episode and or past episodes. Now, we did talk about the New York bill. It's horrible, horrible, horrible. Probably will pass.
Yep.
You wanted to talk a little bit about the debt limit. Don't know much about that, but
Yeah, sure.
my wife doesn't have any limit on our debt.
Well, and that's kind
apparently.
of that's in our president.
Is she a lot like the U.S.?
Our president doesn't think he should either,
Uh-huh.
and I just kind of wanted to explain my understanding of the debt ceiling.
Okay.
And I think the easiest way to understand it is like a credit card.
Okay.
Most adult Americans have a credit card, and unless you have that awesome American Express Platinum Super Duper Guy card,
Yeah.
you have a spending limit on the card. You have a $500 credit limit or something.
You have that much?
No, mine's like $1 or $2.
Wow.
But real quick here, I do want to take a phone call. Looks like we have somebody calling in.
Okay. God help us.
Thank you for calling At Odds. You're on the air. What can we do for you?
Yeah, I'm listening to the show on my earbuds here. I listened for the first half hour. I was calling the wrong number. This is Jeff Hammond.
Hi, Jeff.
Oh, hey Jeff, how you doing?
How you doing? What are you guys talking about right now?
The debt limit.
Oh, the debt limit.
That's our thoughts too. I was just kind of explaining what the debt limit is, and
Using a credit card as an example.
Yep. Did you see Obama's remarks on the debt limit and how he claimed it had nothing to do with spending?
Yeah, I watched some of it. First, I saw on the news that they were talking about when he did make his statements and stuff. And Hannity last night said, "Here's all the lies." And I pretty much feel the same way every time I watch him. it's either him or MSNBC or, all the other liberal media outlets. I can only listen for, maybe 30 seconds, and then I've already had about 2 or 3 lies, and it's like, okay, we're done here. Go watch something else or listen to something else.
Yeah, it's almost a waste of time to listen to it sometimes, and yeah, you can't get too many words in without a lie coming out. Have you heard?
And yelling at the TV doesn't help.
No, but that doesn't stop me from trying it anyway.
No.
What do you think's going to happen with some of this gun control stuff and the executive orders that Obama's been talking about using?
Well, as far as the executive orders, he can pretty much tell the ATF, the FBI, and all them to do whatever he wants them to do, even whether he doesn't make it public. They can do, so many different things without anybody knowing.
Well, they're already doing that. But
it brings up, thoughts of, somebody showing up at your front door because they know you got guns,
Well, what do you?
And that's the way that is.
What do you think might be? Give me one thing that you think he might do that he'll make public.
One thing I'm pretty well. He mentioned he did touch on it. He mentioned when there's the arguments as far as the TR amendment that's been passed every year to make sure that when people try to buy guns from the National Instant Check System, that they're supposed to delete the information automatically. They've been trying for years to try to hold on to them for, months or a year or this.
Yeah.
There's always been that argument. And, I'm pretty sure that he would go ahead and say, yeah, just keep all those names of everybody, who's had a check, which would be, tens of thousands or even millions of people nowadays who are buying all these guns right now.
Yeah. So you think that might be one thing. What about private sale background checks? For all guns.
I don't know how they could, he could institute that unless, private. I mean, if I go to sell my gun, my shotgun or my rifle or whatever to my neighbor, how would they know?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, right. And I think part of the change that they'll push for will be a registration of all of those guns.
Registration, so that if it comes up later and Joe Blow's got your gun that's registered to you and you didn't do a background check, now you are liable in some way for selling that. So that's
they could institute something like that, and every gun owner or gun that they run across, however they run across them, they can just check the list and say, you're under arrest.
Right.
What for? You sold your gun to so-and-so, and so-and-so sold it to so-and-so, and all of you law-abiding citizens have broken the laws or whatever, It's all this on the hush-hush secret.
All right. Anything else you want to touch on?
Well, I just watched, I didn't watch the second part, but I got an email from MCRGO, I believe it was, Steve Doolin was talking,
that's a Michigan gun
Darren Lansing on, I forget the name of the show. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah, that's in Lansing. It's a like a local public access show, City Pulse.
City Pulse, yep.
I haven't seen the second half yet.
Pulse.
I saw the first half.
Something like that.
Yeah, it is.
But he had 4 other, after you get done listening to him, 4 other anti-gun people, and he was the only one there again.
Right.
When I saw the first part, I sent him a message on his Facebook page. Most of the time when people are discussing these things, they're always talking about the children, but I told him, if it's possible, bring up how many adults whose rights were infringed for this gun-free zone school areas. The word infringed. These well-educated adults aren't trusted. We're trusted. They're trusted to take care of our kids and teach our kids and stuff like that. But they can't have a gun. They can't have a gun in school.
You're
and
talking
all of
about-
these adults, there's nothing mentioned about these adults that have been murdered right along with the children.
Right.
Yeah, well,
Almost.
that doesn't touch people's
Heartstrings.
hearts as
Yeah.
closely as a child does, which that part's understandable. But yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, a human life is a human life. So, but hey, Jeff, we wanna thank you for calling in. We wanna get moving on some debt limit talk and a few more of the Obama's ideas on gun control here. So,
But we thank you for
Okay.
calling in and check us out next week. And if you've got a comment, go ahead and call us.
Okay.
All right.
Take care.
thanks.
Bye-bye. All right.
Jeff
he's
made
got
a good point that
yeah.
we've heard several times about teachers being trusted with kids. They're
Right.
being we trust these adult teachers to take care of our children, have them for 8 hours a day, but we won't give them the tools to protect our children.
Right. In the best and most efficient means necessary.
Yep, exactly.
All right. Well, you were talking about your debt limit, your whopping $500 credit card limit.
Yeah, it's
I'm
about
envious.
a $40 credit card limit that
Okay.
I have. But yeah, the debt ceiling is essentially that. It's the limit of the amount of money you can borrow. It's a limit on the credit that the United States has.
Right.
And right now we're borrowing like 46 cents of every dollar that we spend out of the Treasury.
Okay.
It's absurd. And what Obama did was he came out, like they do every time this comes up, and said that, if we don't raise the debt ceiling, then we won't be sending out Social Security checks. We won't be paying our troops.
Yeah.
We won't have, money to pay all of
Same
his,
old threats.
Yeah, and it's not true. It's the same argument as cities give and states give with, well, if you don't raise your taxes,
won't have any police
we
or
won't have
fire.
police or fire. Well, why would you cut them first?
Yeah.
I mean, why don't you look at something that we don't need,
Right.
like an electric car charger in the city, right? Why don't you cut that before you cut police and fire? And that's not to say that all that shouldn't be privatized, but that's a whole nother show.
That's another show.
But Obama came out and he was brazen enough to say that the debt limit has absolutely nothing to do with spending, that it only has to do with paying our bills, which we're paying today, by the way. We are currently paying our bills. And he's saying if we don't raise the debt limit, that we won't be able to pay our bills and the United States will default on our debt.
Huh.
And it'll hurt our credit rating and all this other
Sure,
garbage. But
sure.
he's saying it has nothing to do with spending. And that's...
Wait a minute. I thought we're too big to fail.
Will someone bail us out?
Yeah.
Well, China did.
China
right?
will.
To a point, but now they want their money
They're
back.
getting a little sweaty now.
They want their money back.
Yeah.
But that's another one of these topics that we're going to throw in the mix. While we have, that's going to be around Valentine's Day, where Timothy Geithner, the guy that cheated on his taxes, he's the Secretary of Treasury or whatever he is.
Say it ain't so.
He's a tax cheat, but he said around the 14th, around Valentine's Day is when the U.S. is at risk to default on our loans. I don't believe him, because I think if we're paying our bills, we can keep paying our bills. What we have to do is not spend more. That's the problem, is the new spending that's coming in that's going to prevent us from paying our bills. I mean, we need to start cutting things. And what the president said, he came out and said he will not negotiate with Congress on the debt limit, that he will not negotiate spending cuts in order to get the debt ceiling raised.
He hasn't wanted to negotiate with anybody in Congress.
No, and it's not surprising. He's never negotiated at all. And when they talk about negotiating, it's always
My way.
people on the right.
Yeah.
You need to move to the left because that's
Right.
how you negotiate. It's compromise.
Yeah.
You're a right wing, crazy conservative. What you need to do is
Come
become
over.
more liberal, and then we call it bipartisan. So anyway, we are coming up on a break here. And I want to remind you once again to head over to audibletrial.com/atodds. Get your free audiobook when you sign up for a free 30-day trial. We will be right back. back. Thank you for waiting through that long break there.
Well, did you get that off your chest now?
Yeah, a little bit. Oh, you stopped it. Okay. Yeah, I did. I mean, it's frustrating to have the president come out and lie to something that many Americans really don't understand. Because when did you ever learn about what the debt ceiling was? Do you remember that from government class or civics class or whatever?
You're shocked that a president lied?
No, I didn't say shocked. I said frustrated.
Oh, frustrated. Yeah, okay.
Yes, I am frustrated that any politician would lie to me. No, I am not surprised.
All right.
Not a bit surprised.
Are we moving on?
Yeah, we're moving on. We can talk about the Honorable Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Oh,
if you
I wasn't going to go there.
And this I will say shocked in this instance here. I was shocked that he had a stance on gun control.
Oh. No,
I mean
that you're being facetious.
Well, he's a civil rights attorney, isn't he?
I don't know what he is.
He's a reverend.
He's a reverend. I don't know that he's an attorney.
I
don't know that he's ever had a job.
Oh, come on now. That's offensive because
what?
Annoying people is a profession. Obama got his start the same way.
I wish I'd known that. I'd be rich.
Well,
I annoy a lot of people.
Yeah, you have to be really good at it.
Really good. That's not merely good. Anyways, he sounds drunk here. I don't know. He's talking about assault rifles and how dangerous they are, and we couldn't really figure out. We think he went out with some guy on a date.
That's what I heard. I don't know. I don't know. Well, you listen. Let us know.
These semi-automatic weapons, these assault weapons, can only kill people, and in fact, they are threats to national security. I went out where the young man did the killing in Aurora, Colorado, with the arsenal he had. He was right near the airport, right near the runways of the airport in Denver. He could shoot down airplanes. So this is a matter of homeland security as well.
Oh my God!
Hey, hang on.
What?
I went out where the young man did the killing in. I went out where the young man did the killing. I went out where the young man did the killing. I went out where the young man did the killing.
Okay, we got it.
I'm pretty sure.
I went out with the young man that did the killing.
I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
Yeah. Like I say, I think he was drunk. But these assault rifles
he's
talking
a terrible
about
person.
Uh,
are .223s and
no, it's 233. I saw it. Pierce Morgan said so.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean,
anyways, they're not very big.
If we're going to give the facts, let's give the facts.
People have a misconception. They think these are huge, big, 50 caliber bullets and stuff. These are smaller than the average deer rifle that they have in, Michigan. These are small rifles, and they're not going to shoot down an aircraft with them.
Yeah, but do you know how thin airplanes are?
Yeah. Doesn't matter. They're not going to shoot airplanes down with them. I don't know. Like, it's just ridiculous.
Where the young man did the killing.
I wonder how the date went. Anyways,
it sounds like it didn't go too well.
He has an arsenal out there at the airport. Okay. Anyways, that's what they call spin and BS.
Let's actually analyze that. Did he shoot down airplanes at the airport that was near the theater in Aurora, Colorado?
I would say no. We would have heard about it.
He did not shoot down airplanes. There's a lot of shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Right.
You could take a gun and shoot at an airplane. Sure. You can't legislate on what people could do.
Right.
He did not shoot down an airplane. He may have tried. That we might not know about because, like you said, you're probably not going to shoot down too many airplanes with his shotgun that he used actually to do most of the murders in that.
Yeah.
So, but, I mean, what are you going to do?
Jesse is losing it. I don't know. Why is he significant anymore? I don't know why.
I think the similar reason Michael Moore is because he's loud and annoying. And
he's been around a long time.
He never lets a good tragedy go to waste, much like Rahm Emanuel.
I don't know. Speaking of spin, we talked about David Gregory a while back, and he's the newscaster for NBC.
Yeah, Meet the Press.
Meet the Press. He came on the air in D.C. with an illegal 30-round magazine that was in his possession. It's on tape because it was on live national television.
Yeah.
And he was in violation of Washington, D.C. law. And we just found out this week that we're not going to prosecute him. It wouldn't be in the best interest of justice.
Yeah, no, of course it wouldn't, because David Gregory is sort of famous. I'm going to say famous. We have as many listeners on this show as MSNBC has viewers. I'm pretty sure about that. Well, he was on NBC News, right? There's a difference there, whatever. But sorry,
still
same company.
I think you're exaggerating our viewership a little bit, but go ahead.
We have more, you're saying?
I'm not saying
their
that.
ratings are terrible.
Right, they're not doing well.
But he is a member of the liberal media. He's very sympathetic to these sorts of laws. He was on the show pointing out to Wayne LaPierre how damn dangerous this piece of metal and plastic was, with no bullets in it and no gun around. I don't know if David Gregory owns guns or not, but I'm sure he's protected by them.
Suspecting he doesn't.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's really what it boils down to. That's why they're not going to prosecute him or press any charges on this, because he's sympathetic to the cause of gun laws like that. Yeah, he pointed out how utterly stupid those types of laws are and how they do absolutely no good to keep anybody safe.
Yeah.
But we'll look past that and we'll wait for the next you or I, or any conservative to go out there with with
well,
a 30-round magazine.
Necessarily conservative, but any peon.
Only, anybody who isn't David Gregory,
Right.
somebody from Fox News, they probably would have been prosecuted.
Oh, you may be right.
They would have pressed charges.
Yeah, hard to say.
Did you see the clip of? And it was some of the reporters, I think, that brought out some of the Acorn crap back when that was a big deal. But they went around to some of these liberal media people's houses, the Journal News, some NBC News.
They went to Eric Holder's house.
Did they go to Eric Holder's house and asked if they could put up a sign that said, this house is proudly gun free or whatever?
Right.
And
they said, no, I don't think we want. People might think that we don't have guns and come and rob us.
No,
I don't want that in my yard.
We don't want that. Well, yeah. See, again.
And two or three of the people's houses they went up to had armed security guards outside their homes.
Ridiculous.
But Eric Holder, I mean, the police showed up in like a second when they were hanging outside of his house.
Yeah, I didn't see.
Okay, and they're like, nobody's home there, and and they pretended they didn't know whose house it was.
Yeah,
and the cop wasn't telling them either. But they're like, well, we're trying to, we're against guns and all this stuff. He goes, I agree, and all that stuff. Yeah, they're probably not going to want to put a sign out there.
Yeah, it was funny. A lot of them said, "Oh, I completely agree."
Oh, I agree with you, but I'm not
agree
going to
with
do
the
that.
gun laws. But no, I can't put a sign up saying I'm gun free. Speaking of the Journal News, did you see the house that was burglarized?
Yeah, we talked about that on a previous show. That there was the potential that somebody might break into this house thinking there might be guns there to steal. Well, it happened.
Yeah, if you're not up to speed, the Journal News, they work for Gannett, however you want to pronounce it. But the Journal News published an interactive map of gun permit holders in 2 counties in New York. You could see their name and address.
This is White Plains. It was.
Yes, the house was. But you could get the name and address of most of the gun permit holders in these 2 counties.
And apparently the burglar said that he used the Journal News to pick this house out. Luckily, the guns were locked up and no one was hurt.
Yeah, well, what is interesting is they broke into the house and went straight for the gun safe.
Yeah.
Because they knew there were guns in that house. They didn't really do anything else.
Right. They
went to the gun safe.
Yeah.
This gun owner, like most gun owners, was responsible, had their firearms in a locked gun safe.
Right.
And so the burglars didn't get anything.
Still, it's traumatic to the homeowner. I mean, that would piss me off.
And that's not the point. I mean, the point we're making here is that obviously it was a terrible idea to publish these names. They interviewed, ex-criminals and people in prison who said, yeah, we would absolutely use that list to A, find the houses that had guns so we could either steal guns or avoid them, and B, the houses that don't have guns so we can rob them safely.
Right.
I mean, a safe burglary is a good burglary.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely, yeah. They don't. I don't think they have health insurance and all that and a pension in the burglary.
Well, not yet. They'll be required to with Obamacare.
White House responds to secession petitions.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What did they say? What was their response?
No.
No. You can't secede. And
basically, the public affairs director babbled on about how a democracy is.
And why
about
can't
give
they?
and
Why
take
can't they secede? I thought they could.
Well, not after the Civil War. They couldn't.
Oh,
No.
damn Civil War!
No.
Yeah, they put some kind of amendment to the Constitution there.
Yeah, and I believe Texas may have been
They may
the
be
only
exempt.
state that reserved the right.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that holds true anymore or not, but practically no state could secede and survive because they are all way too damn dependent on the federal government.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And
although they can, they
start
can,
preparing for it if you want, but
well, Wyoming has a bill that they're going to try to nullify any federal gun laws. I heard that the Michigan legislature wants to introduce similar bill. Indiana, Texas, and other states have proposed bills that would do that as well. I just want to say the NRA has a game to teach kids to target shoot.
yeah, I saw this.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, they released it for iPhones, iPads, I believe. It's a non-violent gun range game. You're
gun safety,
shooting at targets,
Yep.
not people. I don't think even animals, like paper targets at a range.
Not that there's anything wrong with shooting animals.
No, maybe not when you're 4. Although I wouldn't argue against it. I mean, that's up to the parents.
Well, some states you can hunt at any age, and there have been kids out 5, 6, 7 years old that have shot deer.
And I'm not completely opposed to that.
Right. I hope not.
I'm just saying I don't think that's part of this.
I'd have to ask you to leave the $2 in chains.
But not in a response to this, but in a response to the shooting in Connecticut, somebody created a game where the game was stop doing that. It distracts me every time you do that. It tickles a little bit. The game was to go through the school in Connecticut and shoot children. That's the game that they created. They've added or are adding a bonus level. It seems that you're at a press conference with a sniper rifle and you get to shoot the president of the NRA.
Oh.
It's a very violent, bloody game. I mean, I don't know who would want to play a game where you're shooting kindergartners and things. I mean, that's just completely ridiculous. And I guess he made it to make some point that guns are bad or something stupid. I don't know. I don't really know. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Made by a non-violent anti-gunner.
Yeah, exactly right. I mean, and the liberals are they always claim that violent video games and violent movies have nothing to do with the shootings, which was another executive order or something that I think Congress may compromise on, is either somehow infringing on the First Amendment to create less violent games, but more likely better labeling of violent games and violent movies, more warnings, more things like that. We are getting close to our time here, though, as Brian keeps pointing out, because I don't have any clocks over here on my side of the glass. But
you just have all the controls there.
I just have the official timer.
I know it. Are we time for? Is it time for music, boss?
Yeah, sure. Music would be good.
Give me the cue.
I do want to remind you, head over to audibletrial.com/atodds and pick up your free audiobook when you sign up for a free 30-day trial. audibletrial.com/atodds.
You might be able to get the Constitution on there.
You probably could. That would be a great choice. I don't know if you can or not, but my cat was reading Declaration of Independence yesterday. It was a pretty cool thing. I have one hanging on my wall in my living room.
What was his take on it?
Thought it was she fell asleep.
Oh, but that might not be a good thing.
Anyway, we want to thank you for listening to At Odds.
We do. Have a good time. Bye-bye.